What does the creative writing industry do for you, for me, for everyone? It does everything. If you've been entertained, it's because of creative writers. Whether it be TV shows, movies, books, web series, anything. Creative writing has had a constant demanding hand in all of that. The creative writers create in their minds what you've enjoyed. They write it down, Bible, scripts, stories, yada yada yada, and it eventually usually gets converted into things you enjoy: books, TV shows, movies, etc. Creative writing is crucial to pretty much every company that exists at this point in time, and any company that will ever exist, such as the World Wrestling Federation and NXT. Creative writing is extremely crucial to that company, both companies, if you will, but WWE owns NXT. Creative writing is crucial to that company, hands down, bar none. It's just like a soap opera. It's just like a movie. Creative writing is crucial to them.
Some of the qualifications you need: a minimum of 5 years of TV and film writing and production experience. It's live TV. They don't want, things change instantly. They don't want someone without experience, which is typical anywhere you go. Professional TV staff experience, absolutely. Writing and directing reality television, a plus, because let's face it, they're live, multiple hours a week. If you have no idea about live television, it's a different kind of live television, but it's still almost the same concept of reality TV shows nowadays. It's mostly all scripted. Experience in all aspects of TV production. Highly creative, of course, absolutely. It's creative writing. You have to be highly creative. You can have upwards of 10 or 20 different wrestlers in different storylines all at any given time. Plugged into pop culture, of course, able to work closely and effectively with talent, other writers and producers throughout the creative process. That's, no doubt, absolutely, that's a given. A strong understanding of WWE's audience. It's not your typical audience. It definitely is not your typical, Duck Dynasty, Survivor, Biggest Loser, type audience. It's a very niche market. Must live in New York, Connecticut, or be willing to relocate. Of course, that's they have two teams, one that travels and one that is based in their home office in Connecticut. Strong knowledge of WWE shows, without a doubt. If you have no idea what's going on or what has happened or what is, you have to have knowledge of the shows and the talent. If you're going to write for a character, you have to know that character. Excellent communication skills and the ability to work in a team environment, flexible travel schedule, and a degree in film, TV, drama, media studies, communications, or a similar field of study or industry experience in lieu of degree.
Let me take a second to talk about two very common terms. Two very common terms of the creative writing industry.
There are many common terms of creative writing. However, I will address only two. 1. Backstory. Everyone has a backstory. Whether it's shared or not, every character has a story about them. Their backstory tells you, who they are and what they're about, and what they might get into and where they're coming from. So you're more of an understanding, more of a level that you can relate to the character. Juxtaposition, one of my favorite words, to be juxtaposed. Juxtaposition is bringing two anything, bringing them up to the same level, typically for comparison, regardless of how comparable they are to each other.
It's not so much that the WWE and the NXT creative, if you will affect the creative writing industry as much as the creative writing industry will affect them. And that's cool. However, they will also play a part in the creative writing industry. If you look at shows such as Big Brother, Survivor, Biggest Loser, Amazing Race, they all slightly take a form of reality creative writing. Come on, it's not all reality. They're all staged. They're all figured out. They're all whatever you want to call it. You know, Duck Dynasty, I mean, Storage Hunters, whatever. It's all figured out. It's all planned. It's all written. And they've all taken a page from reality creative writing, which has stemmed since 1985, 84, 83 from professional wrestling and the WWE. So they're taking everything that is real and recreating it as real. The effect it'll have on graduates is actually pretty crucial. It truly, you know, no matter what over the past 20 years, will, you know, pave the way for creative writers to listen to the fans. A lot of them do, a lot of them don't. Studio executives, it seems like studio executives don't care about the fans. They just want to do what they want to do and con the fans and the viewers into giving them more and more money. And it's starting to fade. All their reboots, all their sequels, you know, the 5th or 6th episode in, you know, whatever movie, yada yada yada. It's not working. It's not. Fans are becoming wise, and they're not going to see most of the things. So, as the WWE has to listen to their fans, so are everyone who's writing books, writing scripts, directing movies, giving the green light to scripts for movies. You have to listen to your fans. And that's one thing that is going to be it's always been, but even more so is going to be extremely crucial to creative writers in the future. Vince Russo almost single-handedly, he had a few people working with him, redefined professional wrestling. He paved the way for the WWE, WCW, whoever, ECW, everyone, to change the way they looked at professional wrestling. He brought more people in than anyone in the history of wrestling as far as fans go. Ratings through the roof. Vince Russo is a role model for creative writers, especially in this business. If you want to be a creative writer, no matter what it is, no matter if it's wrestling, like I'd love to do, no matter if it's books, scripts, TV shows, movies, TV shows, no matter what it is, if you just want to blog, whatever you want to write for creatively, you can do it. There's no limit to what you can do. However, there are a couple unions, groups, etc. that you might want to consider joining.
The Writers Guild of America, or WGA as most people recognize it as, is one of the largest and most recognized and probably the most prolific guild / union that is out there. They strive and work towards their members of the guild, the writers, making sure they get their fair share, make sure they're not getting undermined, making sure they're getting paid, everything of the sorts, everything that's needed, to live and survive and do what you love, and they're there to help protect you do that. You can find them at wga.org, where they have a ton of information that you can look into for all aspiring writers, no matter what it is. The National Writers Union, or NWU, which you can find at nwu.org, it's actually the only labor union that represents freelance writers. Those of you who actually don't have a job with a company as a writer, and you do random things for, say, Huffington Post or Cracks.com, back and forth, so forth and so on, at different places. As a freelance writer, they fight for you. They want you paid. They want you taken care of. It's not quite as intricate as the guild, being a freelance writer. But however, you're putting out your creative work. You should be getting paid for it, and then that's what they're about.